everybody, it is me, Jurassic Alt, here to say that today we're going to be talking about Tales from the Pizza Plex, Book 4, Animatronic Apocalypse. I am very excited to talk about this story. There are some very interesting things. At first I was kind of just like, what the hell is happening? What is this? And then the second time reading it, I'm like, okay, I have a theory and I get it now. So yeah. So the summary starts off with Tuesday. Robbie is part of a fan club called Fazbear Fan Club. The club is basically a D&D kind of style fan club where they just play D&D but with FNAF animatronic characters. The president of the fan club, Jason, isn't here today, and Robbie leaves early to walk with his friend, and as he's leaving, the principal walks in, Mr. Renner, but he doesn't hear what he says. Thursday, Jason moves away, and Sabrina and Johnny are applying for president. Mr. Renner seems very interested in the fan club now, which kind of seems strange. Tuesday, Sabrina has won and has a speech to tell everyone that they are no longer going to be doing schoolwork / classwork in the club. They are going straight into the campaign to defend off the animatronic apocalypse that is going to be coming. And everything seems more strict in the club now. Wednesday, someone has spray painted on the walls saying, "Beware of the animatronic apocalypse." Robbie thinks that Mr. Renner is going to be furious about it and confronts Zoe and confronts Sabrina and talks to her, and they kind of get in an argument, and Robbie's mad that their club could be taken down because of the spray paint on the wall, and Sabrina is mad that he didn't sign up for the special group for the animatronic apocalypse. Then Mr. Renner comes into the cafeteria saying that they're going to do a vote to determine if all funds should go towards the animatronic apocalypse, and brushes over the spray paint incident. Thursday, the vote is approved for the animatronic apocalypse funding. Friday, Robbie tells his dad that the school moved all their money / funding to the animatronic apocalypse and finds that weird. He's in school and goes into the hallway and sees that Sabrina is acting weird when she's talking to Mr. Renner. And a couple of guys in suits come into the school and Mr. Renner is fired. Robbie goes home and sees that the group and Mr. Renner are at the park near the forest. Then they start all eating dirt because it will help protect from the animatronic apocalypse. Saturday, Johnny is sick, which is one of his friends in the fan club. Monday, Johnny kind of seems weird and just off. Tuesday, everyone is eating beetles at 2 o'clock and has glassy eyes. Robbie rushes to the bathroom and two of his classmates come in and say, "Hey, you haven't had a beetle yet. Eat your beetle to protect you from the toxins." Then he leaves the bathroom, but doesn't eat the beetle, goes to the fan club because the fan club's on Tuesdays, and sees that the meeting has been canceled, and learns that the meeting will be rescheduled to be at the park later at night. So Robbie goes to the park later at night and sees that all the club members have been buried in the ground, ghostly looking faces, and looking shocked. Robbie digs up one of his friends, Nathan, and Nathan snaps out and realizes that this is kind of seems strange. Sabrina crawls out of the ground and tells them to get out, so Robbie and Nathan go to the police and tell them that, hey, there's kids buried in the forest, but Nathan doesn't remember anything that happened. So they go to the forest to show the officer what had happened, but there is nobody in the forest. Wednesday. Nobody in the club was at school today, and there's a bug that's going around, apparently. Robbie goes to Mr. Renner's house to find that everyone in the club are sitting at a table with Mr. Renner, and Mr. Renner has a Freddy map. Mr. Renner says that Robbie is the first animatronic in the animatronic apocalypse, and so his club members beat the crap out of him, and Mr. Renner joins in on beating up this kid, and Robbie attacks Mr. Renner and stabs him with a fire poker, and he bleeds out black goo. And the club members kind of snap out and run away, and the cops show up, and Mr. Renner is gone, and Sabrina has moved away, and the club is back to normal. That is how it ends. And now let's get to the side notes part. So, the first thing I want to mention is when Mr. Renner's going into the fan club, he has his phone out, and Robbie sees on his phone that he's horse betting, which seems very weird, and I was just like, okay, seems weird, but I don't know if that has any technical connection with kind of what's happening with Mr. Renner. Quite possibly, I have no idea, but yeah. Another thing is, they mentioned the room, and the room is room 13. They mentioned it 4 times. I personally could not find anything that had the number 13 in it or anything like that in the FNAF universe that I can think. Like, there's nothing to come to mind that is 13. There's Patient 46, but that's the only thing that I can think of that would be a connection. But if there's anything that you guys know of that might be connection, please let me know. Sabrina has glassy eyes, and everybody here has glassy eyes. Seems like is under this animatronic apocalypse kind of mindset. So that's something interesting I want to mention. Robbie is called by his last name 2 times. Now, why is he called by his last name? I have no idea. In the book, they mention spray paint, specifically red spray paint. But it reminds me of what's in Security Breach, because we see 2 places where we see red. Well, we don't see red spray paint. We see spray paint. We see 2 places. That is in Afton's kind of battle area and above Phaser Blast. So yeah, I'm hoping we get a potential story of all the employees needing to take something to protect themselves from something. The club members being buried alive. The club members being buried alive remind me of how the staff bot were and how they look when they're in the sticky note room. So yeah, that's something that I want to keep in mind. And now this is kind of something that I just kind of want to mention. So we know Glitchtrap has powers over animatronics and over all electronic kind of things. Could Agony overpower that? Could Agony technically overpower Glitchtrap's kind of control over technology? I want to keep that in mind, and I want that to be something that we take note of. But yeah. So, let's talk about the meat of the theory. I think, air quotes, the toxin that everybody's supposed to protect themselves from is similar to Glitchtrap's kind of glitching control of, hey, take this to protect yourself from the, air quotes, glitch. I'm hoping that we get a future potential story of like, hey, all employees need to take this certain thing to protect themselves from the glitch in the system or whatever, or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll get another protect yourselves from the beetles that these people eat. Like, I don't know. We got people eating beetles, which really was like, what the hell is happening? It really weirded me out when I first read it. And the thing is, I want to mention this seems like Afton's cult. Now I'm going to mention this. I think this is part of Afton's human cult. Now, I think because Glitchtrap is technically an AI or kind of it's not Burnt Trap. Glitchtrap and Burnt Trap are 2 different individuals. Glitchtrap is kind of just an AI / part of his soul that is self-aware and is disconnected from Burnt Trap. Not completely, but kind of connected, but just a little bit. I think Glitchtrap had a cult. That was the Afton cult, but it clearly didn't work because we don't see any employees in Security Breach, and there is nothing really, like, we don't see any employees there. We don't see any kind of other Vanny kind of characters. I want to present this kind of theory. Afton's cult started out as people and then slowly converted to animatronic. But I think Glitchtrap was like, hey, I'm going to go with people at first, and if it worked, it worked. We're going to get as many people and we're going to have as many killers as want. But it doesn't work because, well, they're not completely fully under control right away because in Tape Girl is a reluctant follower. It's not full on, I am obeying Glitchtrap, I will do everything he needs me to do. Like, there is a bit of hesitation because they're people, and it's clear that you can break free of it because Jeremy did. Yes, he died, but he wasn't fully under the control of Glitchtrap. So I think that Glitchtrap started out with trying and control people, but then switched over to animatronics and like that, and Vanny being the only one that was a true success to Glitchtrap's kind of whole cult thing. And I think Vanny was originally trying to kill Bonnie. I think that Glitchtrap kind of stretched his power too much, and kind of in doing so, taking over everything, he kind of split up his power. He kind of expanded it too much, and that was kind of how the tapes were. We put all the tapes together and it kind of made the connection stronger, and it made him stronger. Well, I think he went into the Mega Pizzaplex and started out strong, but kind of as time went on, slowly, air quotes, fell apart. That's kind of a connection to maybe why there's so many endo heads kind of just randomly scattered, is that someone, probably Puppet, trying to spread out Glitchtrap, not in spreading his powers around, but more of a spreading him out and kind of making him separated into multiple puzzle pieces. But I think that eventually Glitchtrap had enough power to go into one, air quotes, body, and that would be Bonnie's body, I think. And then Vanessa isn't technically fully under control, but still kind of somewhat is, but able to break free from it. And I think Vanessa sends Bonnie to Monty's area, because in this quote here, Bonnie goes into Monty's area, and I think that Monty kind of destroys Bonnie. And then, since Bonnie's decommissioned and thrown out, air quotes, Burnt Trap takes it and fuses it with his body, which basically would amplify Glitchtrap's powers, because Burnt Trap in the game clearly has a connection to electricity and powers of the animatronics, and is taking a lot of power from the Mega Pizzaplex because there's a shortage of power and a lot of power out. I think Burnt Trap and Glitchtrap kind of fuse, air quotes, fuse bodies, but technically it's just kind of reuniting him, part of himself again, and kind of amplified Glitchtrap's powers, but slowly took out Glitchtrap parts and made it that Burnt Trap was even stronger. And that's why we see a bed down there for Vanessa, because Vanessa is no longer under Glitchtrap's control, she is under Afton's control now. And then another thing is, we see them bury themselves in the ground to kind of, air quotes, protect themselves from the toxin. If they bury themselves in the ground, they're probably gonna have dirt on them. Now, where is a place where we see animatronics really... Where's the first place we see animatronics really dirty? Right after the daycare. And it's random and it's weird. When I first played this game, I was like, what the hell? Why are they so dirty? Like, everywhere else they seemed fine. Before we go into the daycare, well, I think that Vanessa took them down there to kind of amplify their connection with Afton. And this is kind of further proved when Freddy says this line here.
I know what this is. I have been here before. She brought me here. I found myself for the first time when I cleared the path. I did not want to, but I had no choice. Now I have a choice.
To, air quotes, protect themselves from toxin, maybe to amplify their powers. I do believe that in the book, Robbie, I felt like kind of really represented Cassidy, because Robbie kind of technically freed Sabrina temporarily from Mr. Renard's kind of control and his kind of animatronic apocalypse whole thing. Temporarily, because everybody else was free, kind of. I think that's what happened with Vanessa, of Cassidy freed Vanessa for a little bit, but Vanessa was like, oh yeah, this is terrible. I should kill off Glitchtrap. And that's how it started, of Vanessa sending Bonnie into Monty Golf and killing Bonnie. I also want to mention that they fired Dave in the game, and I felt like Jason kind of just had an unclear disappearance. It wasn't clear why he disappeared or why. They said he moved, but I don't think he actually moved away. I think he might have died. And I don't think he's the Jason from Submechanophobia, because technically that Jason was 5 years old, and this one seems like he's in high school, middle school. What happened to Dave and Jason, I feel like, are similar. I think Dave saw something that he wasn't supposed to, and, air quotes, needs to be fired because he's a bad person. But I don't know. But that's kind of, I feel like that's a connection there. And I feel like toxins and glitches are they sound similar. They don't actually sound, I feel like they have similarity kind of things. When I think of toxins, I think of what humans can't have. Like, that's toxic for a human. Glitches, I feel like, is the robotic version of toxin. So yeah, I feel like there's another connection to Glitchtrap. But yeah, that's my theory there. Let's go to the timeline. So my theory for the timeline is that they mentioned Roxanne. They don't mention Monty. They do mention a mini golf, but they don't specifically mention Monty, but they do mention Roxy. So I'm going to put this in the Roxy kind of timeline era. So yeah. So I'm going to put this in the Roxy timeline. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me you took the time out of your day to watch this video. This video is... I feel like I kind of did it different. I feel like this video was a bit different of how I do the summary. And I don't know. I just feel like I did this video differently. And not in a bad way. I think I did it in a good way. I think I'm trying to fine tune and make everything better. I am recording this earlier, so hopefully I'm not as stressed out, because I always be like, it'll be fun. I'll wait until last minute to start editing and doing all that stuff. That'll be fine. But it's like, when it finally hits me, I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta upload this in 2 days, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like recording, editing, and all of that, it's not fun to do in 2 days. Let me tell you that. But yeah, I've enjoyed these books. The next book I am excited about. I think this is probably the one that we got the most lore in out of these books, or in this story. But I did enjoy this. At first, I was kind of like, what the hell is happening? What is this? But now going back and reading it, I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit more comfortable of what's all happening here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me. You took the time out of your day to watch this video. I know I haven't done any animations in a while, but I will get some animation videos out. The theory videos I'm doing really good, and I'm so happy because I've loved watching game theories videos, and I love making theory videos. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm glad these videos are doing good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, T-Rexes and walruses. Yeah.